completely different story. It's flat. Drivers need to get out of the gas early to be able to roll that bottom. You want to get your left sides down on the paint. There's a lot of grip down there if you can do that. You want to try not to use the brake so much going through 3 and 4 because that will burn up your right front, making this car even tighter as it goes through that flat end of the track. And that's something that, I myself, tend to carry over from running Texas because Texas 1 and 2 is extremely flat. And it's just something where I've learned where you get out of the gas early, don't really use the brake at all. Maybe at the end of a run, you might tap it, or just put a little pressure on it just to help the car settle and start to rotate. Other than that, you want your car to roll through the center. That will help save those tires, and it will keep you fast through the long run. And speaking of long run curve, these cars are going to be able to do about 40 to 43, maybe 44 if you really stretch it. Which, being that the stage break is at lap 60, meaning no one can make it to that stage break. So my ideal position when it comes to that would be to split it in half. If this thing does run green with 5 tire sets with the ones they start on, you do have 2 extra sets. The way that this race will play out, only needing 1 set after the stage break if it was to stay green. So those are kind of my key facts for tonight, Kurt. And I think whoever can.
Well, that's going to be Shadowlack's key facts for tonight's race at Kentucky. I tend to agree with him. It's like I said, it's a lot like Texas. The style of racing, it comes out kind of similar, feels similar. So if you're really good at Texas, you should be good at Kentucky. If you're good at Kentucky, you're probably good at Texas. Um, Tonight, I'm going to be looking at a couple different drivers here. We've got the standings for the playoffs being pulled up on screen right this second. And Ryan Crooks is currently our points leader in the playoffs, but it won't matter after tonight's race because the points will get reset for the next round. But for tonight's round action here, we've got to look at the bottom half of the field for the playoffs. So Chris Murphy still in contention with 1,087, sitting in 7th. Tyler Belanger sitting there with 1,085, 2 points back from Chris Murphy. Tyler Belanger is holding up that last spot into the playoffs. Round number 2. Brandon Watkins trying to eagerly get in there. Jason Blaney, who missed last week's race, I'm not sure if he is here this week or not. I do not see him on the list. So he is probably going to end up missing this week as well. So he's probably going to be one of the guys out. Nick Gowan cannot make it into the playoffs. Bill Hales cannot make it into the playoffs. Even though Nick has returned for tonight's race at Kentucky, it doesn't matter what he does. He can win both or the stage and the race and lead the most laps, get the fastest lap, max points out, and he still will not make that top 8. So it's going to be between Tyler Belanger, Brandon Watkins, Chris Murphy, and maybe Cole Martin. That's going to be the order that may be switched up back and forth there. We don't know who's going to make it. Tyler Belanger got to have a good race. Chris Murphy got to have a good race. Brandon Watkins got to have a good race and hope that the other two in front of them, in front of him, falters a little bit and has a little bit of a problem. But those two have been pretty deadly, but they've also been involved in a lot of wrecks. Brandon Watkins was really good a couple weeks ago when we were at the Indy Road Course in Richmond, so we'll see if he can make up some points tonight. He's only 13 points back from that 8th position, so Tyler Belanger can not finish anywhere worse than 13th place and has to get some stage points. If Brandon Watkins does beat him out in the stage, he's going to have to pay attention to it. It's going to be point counting all the way to the end of this thing. But for tonight's race, we got to look back at Texas early on in the season. Nick Gowan, it was his second race of the season. He ended up winning the race, but Ryan Crooks, it was his first race of the season, and he wound up leading most of that race until he lagged out of the race about 3/4 way through. Nick Gowan took over due to strategy and ran away with it and won the race. So it's kind of a flip-flop on who may come away with tonight's race since it's so close to a Texas-style race. Nick Gowan is fastest in practice. And Ryan Crooks was second fastest in practice. So those two are off by 1/100th of a difference. It's going to be a shootout between those two. And Cole Martin's going to be in there. Jovi Ray was really fast in practice as well. And then a couple others, you never know what happens because they can sit back and kind of not show their speed during practice. But qualifying is underway. We've got about 7 minutes before we go live, Shad, or before we go to the race. So, um, who are you looking at for tonight's race as being a potential race winner? Is there multiples here?
Yeah, with Nick Gowan returning, unfortunately, no matter what he does, he will not be able to advance to the next round. So I think he's got something to prove tonight. Um, but Ryan Crooks, like you stated, was really quick at Texas. With Kentucky, to me, being about the same as Texas, I think Ryan Crooks is definitely someone to watch. Cole Martin, another driver that's been really good here lately, just has not been able to pull out the victory, even though he's dominated races. And then, I cannot discount last year's Kentucky winner, which was Chris Murphy. Now, granted, he might not have the speed right now during practice,
He did win that
but
race due to pit strategy, though. So that was a pit strategy called race that he got.
hey,
I found out earlier
sometimes
he had a one
it's
set of tires left and was able to come down and grab him and beat out the cheater. So
yeah, yeah, he did beat out the cheater for that victory. But like you were saying in the playoff points, they're really tight. Pretty much, three, four drivers are all competing for that final spot to advance to the next round, and a lot of pressure on those guys who are in right now. And Brandon Watkins, to me, doesn't have much pressure on him. He just got to go out there and run the best race he can and see where it plays out. Those guys who are sitting in, to me, they have the pressure because they have, something to lose. To where Brandon Watkins could just go out there and run a race. And if he makes it, he makes it. If he doesn't, at least he gave it his all. And he should be able to at least finish in that ninth position in the playoff standings, which will get him a pretty decent payout.
well, this track here is D-shaped, and the start finish line, Chad, is in kind of an awkward position because this track really doesn't have a front straightaway. It's definitely angled, and the start finish line is basically right before you'd start entering turn one. So these guys are going to have to be on it tonight. They're going to have to pay attention to everything that's going on. We know those pit calls are going to come out for green flag strategy calls. Um, Pit road speeding penalties may come into a factor. We've seen that come in. Um, there's going to be a lot of different things that come out of tonight, but right now we will go into the national anthem and come on back for the grading process, and we'll see who can come away with tonight's poll. I'm going to bet it's probably going to be one of those two guys we were just talking about in the 2 car or the 3 car. So we'll come on right back here in just a minute and get you that grid process done. All right, Chad, we're back here for Kentucky, and qualifying getting ready to wrap up. We've got about a minute left. I've got to reset the sound, apparently, because my sound is not working. But right now, practice is looking pretty good, and iRacing disconnected all my sound. So let me fix that real quick. Yeah, Kentucky, we've got 140 laps tonight. Um, Usually is pretty mistake free, Shad, for the most part. That I can remember at Kentucky, it's usually a pretty easy track to get a hold of, besides maybe coming out of, is it turn 4 or turn 2 that's the worst?
Um, Turn 4, the car gets tight, so you push towards the wall. Coming out of turn 2, it might get a little loose. The opening laps till you get some heat in those tires. So I would say probably both is probably equally as dangerous, but the track's so wide. I expect this to go pretty clean and green, but I wouldn't be surprised if these guys, with the pressure on them getting on to the next round, all heck breaks loose.
Yeah, I can agree. It's probably going to get down to the nitty gritty when we get to the closing laps if guys are within, a couple points from making into the playoffs or being out. So we'll see what happens here. But I'm going to pull up the gridding process as qualifying has wrapped up, it looks like. So we'll bring up the grid, and it is Chris Murphy in the 7 getting the pole tonight, Chad. That is last season's winner at Kentucky, so he gets the pole tonight. I want to say it's his first pole of the season because I believe he started in the front row a couple weeks ago. Uh, Next to his
Yeah,
teammate. So
Jose.
yeah, so Nick Gowan though gonna come starting this race in second for Aeon's Motorsports. Wesley Jeanette for Fielda Motorsports will start third on the inside row. Sean Walton will be on the outside row in fourth. Jose Ruiz will be fifth. John Osborne sixth. Tyler Belanger seventh. Johnny Dispacquali will start eighth. Cole Martin, ninth. John Ziller, 10th. Tyler Tayon, 11th. Ryan Crooks, 12th, Shed. That's kind of a shocker there. 13th is Brandon Watkins. 14th is Nathan Line. 15th is Michael Perdusky. 16th is Jake Roel. 17th, Jovi Ray. 18th, Nathan Mon. 19th, Mike Campbell, Papa Bear. And 20th position is Austin Walton. From Jake Roel down, they did not take qualifying lap, Chad. And I'm confused on Jovi Ray and Nate Mon's strategy. Maybe Jovi Ray's thinking, hey, last week I started at the back without qualifying and I came in one. Or 2 weeks ago, sorry. So maybe that's what he's thinking, but I just hate thinking I start in the back so much that I have to work my way through the field every single week. But he does it. So him and his teammate, I guess they'll try to tag team each other or tag team different cars when they come around and pass people. So we'll see what happens here as we get these guys fired up on pit road. They're all getting running through. But Shad, what about the different strategy calls there on the qualifying order?
Yeah, I don't really understand Jovi's process, but he seems to do it every week. And every week, when the race comes down towards the end, he finds himself up in the top 5. So maybe it's just a way for him to learn the track more. And, obviously you start in the back, you learn how to pass guys. So maybe that's the strategy call that him and Nathan Mon are trying. But I don't like it because you got to work through the field. You have chances of getting involved in a wreck and also using that fast repair. But Jovi seems to be able to pull it off every week. So I guess I can't discount his strategy.
Well, he is moving on to the next round, I would say for sure, as he is into the top 5 of the points, as long as I guess he doesn't quit the season or something. But I think he's pretty much secured into the next round. I think everybody's pretty much secured in outside of maybe sixth. From Cole Martin down are who's going to be swapping back and forth. Jose Ruiz maybe, because he's only a little bit in front of Cole Martin, but the rest of the guys above him in fifth on up or fourth on up are pretty much locked in. So I think for some guys maybe they're thinking, hey, I'll just start in the back, I'll roll around. They've got teammates. Maybe they can go up there and try to grab some points. But Jovi, like I said, he starts in the back week in and week out pretty much and works his way to the front. But 3 and 4 is where we're at with the pace car. Pace car going to be coming off into pit road. Chris Murphy in that 7. Rippet will be getting into the restart zone here in just a second with Nick Gowan in that GST Spider paint scheme on the outside. Into the Geico restart zone, and we are underway. Chris Murphy going to be going for green here as we go into turn one. Into turn one, they go ripping, and Chris Murphy on the bottom. Nick Gowan on the outside gets a big run on the outside. He's able to use the momentum on the top side, takes over the lead. Coming out of turn two, 74 of Wesley Jeanette tucks in behind the 7. The 10 of Sean Walton tucks in behind the 74 as we go into turn 3 and 4. And Chad, it's looking like Nick Gowan has got a little bit of a hold on this thing. He was really fast in practice. He missed the pole by only a couple 100ths there off of Chris Murphy, who was only about 5th or 6th fastest in practice. And Nick has taken the lead and actually has checked out about 4 cars as we have a caution out on the track, and it is Brandon Watkins that's going to be involved, and I believe Jake Rowell as well. And Chad, we're getting to accustomed here to seeing Jake Rowell for some reason being involved in incidents is usually within the first 10 laps of the race. We're going to take a look back here as soon as I can find the incident here. And we'll pull up Jake Rowell and Brandon Watkins to see what happened to these guys. So there is Brandon Watkins in the 44 Little Caesars paint scheme there. He's on the inside. Actually, let me speed this up a little bit. All right, there's Brandon Watkins in the 39 of Jake Rowell on the outside. Looks like Jake Rowell tries to go 3 wide with the 38 of Nathan Lyon. Gets put into the wall. Gets turned in front of the 38. Comes right across the nose of the 44. 44 getting massive damage, along with a couple others there. We'll back it up and take a look from a couple different perspectives here, as it looks like multiple cars involved in this. Nathan Lyon, Nathan Mon also, as he was back here. So in the 21, that's a playoff contender out here. And it looks like the Jake gets a big run on the outside of the 38, and I don't know if the 38 knows he's there, but he definitely runs him right into the wall. Turns him down right across the nose of the 21. 21 and 38 make contact. 21 not going to have that much damage. 38's definitely got some damage. Not sure what happened there. Well, that's multiple weeks. I mean, I don't call that one Jake Rowell's fault, really. I mean, maybe a little bit early to go aggressive 3 wide, but if you're comfortable going 3 wide, it's not your fault if nobody else is comfortable. So he went to the outside of the 38, and 38 just kind of drove him up towards the wall. So not sure what was going on there. But up front, Nick Gowan looking really, really fast right now. I'm going to try to grab him and bring him up to the booth here so we can talk to him, because we haven't talked to him in several weeks because he's been out. Nick, you got a copy of this? SWAT's in the booth.
Yeah, I do.
Well, Nick, I haven't been able to talk to you for several weeks. I figured I'd bring you up here real quick, but you're the leader also, so I needed to bring you up here. But you were really fast in practice. You were at the top spot. You missed the pole just by a few hundredths there over Chris Murphy. You won Texas. Shad always says Texas and Kentucky are very similar in the way that they drive, it seems. So what is it about tonight that made you come back for Kentucky, and you're looking really, really smooth up there in that 3?
Thanks. Well, honestly, just my availability. So, I mean, it happens to all of us. I mean, real life stuff gets in the way sometimes from what we like doing. So priorities there. Happy to be back for sure. I know I got a mountain to climb as far as the playoffs go. So I don't expect to make the cut tonight, but I'm going to give it my best shot.
Well, how's the track feeling? And is it very similar at all between Texas and Kentucky, the way that you won Texas?
I mean, it's a little backwards because I mean, one in 2 in Texas is kind of
reversed.
flat, where it's 3 and 4 here. So 1 and 2 is really quick. All the grips down at the bottom. You can kind of run 2 lanes in 3 and 4. That second lane, I imagine, will be used to pinch people from getting a run going onto the front stretch. So you'll probably see some of that later on. But it's a very technical track, especially in 3 and 4. So I mean, if you're not careful, you can burn your stuff up and go straight to the back.
Well, welcome back. Definitely love seeing you here. I think you got a big shot to go out and get another win tonight. You've already got multiples this season, so way to come back and show up on the top. And I think it kind of maybe shows the group a little bit like they should be thanking you, because if you were here, they probably would have a different stance on the playoffs right now. So, but good luck in the rest of the race. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again. You got the stage break coming up at lap 60, so good luck.
Thank you.
All right, and that's our current leader in the 3, the GST Spider, Nick Gowan, out front right now. Looking really good, looking really smooth. Got the lead pretty quickly through 1 and 2 over Chris Murphy. Wesley Jeanette sitting there in 4th with Sean Walton to his outside. Tyler Belanger is in 5th. John Osborne 6th. Cole Martin up 7th, up +2 to 7th. Jose Ruiz down 3 spots to 8th. Johnny D is in 9th. Ryan Crooks up 2 spots to 10th place. So some guys on the move. As always during the playoffs, if the tower or the ticker's going across the screen, you will see the neon green next to the name of the driver to signify that they are a playoff driver. I'll have a whole new set next week when we get into the next round, but we are headed into the restart zone here as the 3 and the 7 are leading the field down to the restart zone. Nick Gowan going to be able to be on the gas first, and he's gone. Shoots out of that restart zone like a bullet. 7 of Chris Murphy did not look like he was ready for that as Nick Gowan just took off. Wesley Jeanette also sticking with him. I don't think Sean Walton was ready for that either, because it didn't look like he went. And Wesley Jeanette was able to get underneath him, and John Osborne now getting underneath him and making the pass. So guys have to be ready on the restart zones. You can make up a lot of passes here quickly on the restart zones if you can get on it faster than somebody else, get through the gears faster than somebody else, and use that momentum to your advantage. Little Buffalo Emily out there saying, go, Nick, go. Nick is definitely going. He is very, very fast tonight in that 3. I think he's got the real shot to be the winner. There's a few others in the field that I think have real potential to come up here and battle him, but I think he's coming back with a little vengeance since he had to miss several races there because family first. So we'll see if Nick can come away with it. Chris Murphy coming to the outside line, moving down to the bottom through the front stretch, goes through turn 1 and 2. You can see the flames coming out the pipes on the side of the car as he's trying to let off a little earlier to get the tightness out of that car as he was battling it during practice. 74 Wesley Jeanette still sitting there in third. 10 of Sean Walton getting passed by Ryan Crooks, who is now up +8 positions, and that is a huge move, big move for Ryan Crooks as he was sitting 10th on that restart. So he is up 6 spots, or up 7 spots since the restart of the race. So very quickly, as I said, if you can make up a lot of positions, if you can get going faster than somebody else through those gears and take advantage of it. So he is definitely, as we have another caution, it's going to involve the 33 and the 42 of Johnny D. That is Jovi Ray and Johnny D going to be involved in this incident here. We'll back it up and pull up that caution and see what happened to our playoff driver Jovi Ray in the 33 Ream paint scheme. Backing it up here to Jovi Ray. Looks like he is to the inside of the 42 of Johnny D. So we'll take it off. Oh, and it looks like he just... I'm not sure what happened there. We'll back it up here and take another look. Looks like it just shot him out of the apron. I don't see the 44 touching him at all. The 42's not touching him. We'll go inside the cockpit here and watch his hands through this front stretch. It looks very odd. It's like the front stretch apron grabbed him and started yanking him left, and it got him loose, and he turned right up into the 42. That's an odd one there. But we'll go back live and go back up to the front, and I'll try to find another victim to pull up to the booth here, and we'll talk to another driver. Let's go with second place. Chris Murphy in the 7. You got a copy?
I got you.
All right, bud. You come out here and get the pole. Last season's Kentucky winner. Not sure where you found the speed at during qualifying, but you jumped right to the number 1 spot and got the pole position for this race. At Kentucky, you're currently sitting second behind Nick Gowan, who took the lead in turns 1 and 2 off the start of the race. How's the car feeling, and does the line matter on the restarts?
Yeah, well, he started in first, and I restarted in second, and I think that was where the real big speed difference was there. So I'm going to try the next restart in first. Hopefully I don't have too much wheel spin. I'll be able to keep the car underneath me, but I think that outside line is definitely where you want to be at on the restarts. You have a little bit better angle going into turn 1. I was a little loose going through turn 1 in 4th gear, so if I get the opportunity, I'll try to take the outside, but the car's pretty fast. It's a little loose on takeoff, but I think the hardest thing is getting the car to sit in turns 3 and 4, kind of hug that bottom there. So yeah, well, I guess we'll see. I don't know. Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while on that speed.
Well, I think that was your first pole of the season, if I'm not mistaken. So congratulations on the first pole. But through 12 laps of the race, we've had 2 cautions. I know your goal tonight is just to make it through here and try to gain some extra points and stuff, but and try to stay in that top 8. You're currently in 7th, only by a couple points. You're doing what you need to do by getting that pole and being up front right now, staying out of trouble. But Ryan Crooks has been coming through this field very quickly, and he's going to line up right behind you. Are you worried about anybody around you, or are you paying attention to the points at all, or the positioning, or are you just trying to stay up front as long as you can and stay away out of the trouble?
Well, I get involved in pretty much every bit of trouble known to man this season, so
that is true.
if I pay attention to it too much, I think I just get wrapped up in it. So I'm just trying to focus on running my race here. I know Ryan's really fast, but I can't imagine he's saving much tire there. I know it's the first stage here is kind of quick, so we'll kind of see when it comes to like what he's going to be sitting at in the longer run. But yeah, I'm just happy to stay up in front, get some points, and hopefully I'm around at the end and not make any mistakes.
All right, well, I'll send you back down to your teammates. Good luck in the 7. It's definitely looking like a fast track out there. You just have to survive tonight to get to the next round. I know you got some tracks coming up, but you did win this race last season, so it's not super surprising to see you up here towards the front, and just hoping and praying you can make it.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right, that was our second place driver in the 7 in the Rip It, Chris Murphy, our pole sitter for tonight. He's currently second in the race, and we'll see if he can line it up here with Ryan Crooks and Nick Gowan, 2 of the fastest cars on track. Nick is definitely fast. Ryan Crooks, though, I mean, he has made up 9 positions in 14, well, in about really 8-9 laps of real racing, as we've had. Let's see, how many laps have we had? 8 laps of caution laps so far. So, yeah, he's made up about 9 positions in about 7 laps.
Hey, did you accidentally queue up in here?
Oh, my bad. All right. Move Murph. All right, we'll wait for those guys to come back around. They're coming through the backstretch right now, waiting for Shadowlack to get on his computer. I know he was just getting home from work, so we'll wait for him to get on the computer and ready to go. But down the backstretch, we're headed into lap number 15 when we go back green here. We're going into 3 and 4 now with the pace car. iRacing.com pace car out front. Well, it looks kind of like a Mustang, but it's going to get interesting here. We've had 2 cautions. We've had some playoff contenders involved in incidents already. Jovi Ray being one of those, Nate Mon being one of those. So it's going to be kind of confusing here to see who can make it through here and get the points. points are usually updated very fast by owner admin Tyler Belanger, so we'll see who can make it through. But back to the restart zone we go. 7-3, leading the guys into the restart zone. 7 going to be trying to get on it this time and spins the tires a little bit. Ryan Crooks runs into the back bumper as Nick Gowan shoots out of there again. Somehow he is able to hit the first gear. Chris told us that Nick started in first gear last restart and shot out of there like a cannon. Chris was going to try it this time, but had a little bit of wheel spin there with Ryan Crooks right on his back bumper. Wesley Jeanette going to move up in the second spot as he started on the outside when Chris was a little slow there with the wheel spin. Ryan Crooks diving underneath, and Cole Martin's around. And I think that's going to bring out another caution here as Cole Martin spun around off the nose of, I'm not sure who that was. And I'm not seeing a caution. No caution out on track, which is crazy as two cars were spinning across track there. But Cole Martin, your playoff contender, sitting right now in sixth place, needs to get going here and stay on the lead lap. Make it to the pit strategy calls here and get back on the lead lap if he does go a lap down. But the leaders are closing in on him. He's about a half a track out in front, so he needs to get going here. But I can't believe there wasn't a caution for that. We'll try to go back real quick and pull it up to see what happened.
I watched it, Kurt. It's Tyler Tayon out there, human wrecking ball. Slid up the track right into the 31 of Cole Martin and dumped him.
Well, Cole Martin probably not going to be happy about that. I think that something happened like that 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, with Chris Murphy being spun too. So
yeah, by Tyler Tayon out there, just human road blocking it.
oh, we're
But
back
Kurt,
up front.
I am in the sim finally. Finally got the computer up and running after getting off work late. But yeah, you have to catch me up as far as who's wrecked so far. I wasn't able to see it.
Well, right now we've had 2 cautions. I thought we were going to have a third there with Cole Martin, but I can't believe the caution did not come out. But so far, Nate Mon, Jovi Ray involved in an incident earlier with Jake Rowell, and Johnny D and Brandon Watkins, I think, have all been part of in incidents. So 3 playoff drivers right there being involved. But I don't think any of them had to use fast repairs besides maybe Brandon Watkins.
Yeah, Jovi Ray and Nathan Mon elected not to qualify, and
Started
maybe
in the
that
back.
backfired on them this time as they were back there in the traffic, to where maybe if they started up front, they wouldn't have been involved. But Kurt, up front, looks like we're got one heck of a battle here brewing between the 3 and the 2 of Nick Gowan and Ryan Crooks. Ryan Crooks looks like he's trying to figure out a way to not ride in Nick's dirty air and get around him. But right now, Nick's running a very tight line through 3 and 4. I myself would like to see him a little bit on the bottom as Ryan Crooks now, Kurt, looking to the inside of him. Gowan going to give him enough room as they go off into turn 1 and 2.
Be a drag race down the backstretch as they go side by side, number 2 and number 3. Going into turns 3 and 4, Ryan Crooks still on the bottom. Nick Gowan holding tough, though, on the outside with the momentum. Can he hang on to it? Ryan Crooks, though, going to take the spot from Nick Gowan to take over the lead. Nick Gowan trying to do the crossover, goes underneath.
Nick Gowan is there. This is something, if I'm in 3rd and 4th, behind these guys, I want to see them doing this, burning up their tires this early into a run.
And Chad, how much does tires really be affected by this? Is it severe on the tires depending on the lane you're in? Is there a preferred lane to be in at Kentucky?
Yeah, I think, through 1 and 2, I don't think it hurts too bad to either run the top or the bottom. But going through 3 and 4, I feel like if you're, not on the bottom line, you're burning up your tires up there. So to me, that's where I want to be, and that's where I feel like you save the tires is down there, on that yellow line. With these guys going side by side, all they're doing is burning their stuff up. And, we still got a long way to go, Kurt, before we even get to the stage break. Something that none of these drivers, I don't believe, can make it So maybe they've decided that they're going to short pit it, split it in half, and they can burn their set a little bit more than what they would usually if this was a full run.
Yeah, and Ryan, I don't think has been conserving tire at all. He started towards the back. He's up 10 positions right now as he's sitting second, about half a car on Nick Gowan. So him running that outside line, Chad, he should be able to carry the momentum, but Nick has been up front, so I don't know if he's been able to conserve as well. He's gotten away from the pack every time on the restarts, but we've had a caution come out, so he really hasn't had a whole lot of laps on his tires either. But it just looks to me like Ryan has the draft and he's able to use it, but his tires are a little older or a little more burnt off than Nick's are, so Nick's able to pull the crossover and go right back around. But while these two are battling, it is pulling that 74 Wesley Jeanette right back into this mix as he's closing in on the back bumper of these two leaders who are now again side by side as Ryan Crooks looks low through 1 and 2, Shad, again.
Nick Gowan the last time through 1 and 2 was able to clear Ryan Crooks, but then overcooked it into 3 and 4, drifted up into that middle lane, allowed Ryan to get the run on the bottom and get side by side with them as they entered turn 1. And now we're going back to side by side racing with these two now, just reversed with Nick Gowan now on the outside line. He's going to have to be up there pushing his car just to try to either keep the position of number 1 or not lose too many spots. As right there, he makes a little bit of a mistake. He thought the 2 was going to be cleared. He'd be able to tuck and cross underneath him, but the 2 was not cleared yet, and they almost made contact. If they might have actually made a little bit there.
A little bit of contact, but big recovery by Nick because it didn't slow him down a whole lot.
He lost a little bit of time there, which allowed Wesley Jeanette to close the gap on him, but I still feel like these guys are just burning their stuff up.
I mean, we're 2 laps from the halfway point in the stage, Chad. So, I mean, if they are talking about splitting it halfway, doing 30 and 30, they're almost to the point. So, really, if they burned up their tires in the first 30 laps, does it really matter to them? I mean, for Ryan's sake, I mean, he came from the back to the front. So, he used up his tires to get here. Nick was already at the front. So, I mean, really, it benefited Ryan to go out here and go full stream, just burn them up, and then come in and pit. But we're now on lap 29. We should start seeing some cars coming down pit road here shortly.
Yeah, the fuel window is definitely open to be able to make it to the stage from here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do start to see guys start to come split this stage in half and try to roll the dice and make up positions, being that you're on quicker tire or newer tires first, trying to make up a few seconds worth of time. And looking at the times right now, Kurt, 31.1 ran by our leader last time by. They were running 30.3s, 30.5s during practice, so the pace has already fallen off by over 0.6 of a second.
Well, the fastest lap on track as of right now is a 30.603. So I think some of those fast laps might have been draft laps, but you would think they would have some draft laps right now when they were stacked together here. But Brandon Watkins back in 10th has the fastest lap of 30.6, which could help him get into the playoffs if he ends the night with that fastest lap of the race. But the leaders are only about a 0.5 off of each other. Wesley Jeanette is about a 1/10.5 off of those two. And Ryan Crooks, I believe, is coming down pit road.
Yeah, he just announced that he is coming this time. So Ryan Crooks is pretty much splitting it in half. We'll have to see if Nick Gowan stays out. Nick Gowan does stay out. So Nick going to go longer, try to have the fresher tires at the end of the stage. But that will allow Ryan Crooks to come out and probably build at least a 0.5 second a lap faster than Nick Gowan right now. Nick Gowan, though, last time by did run a 31.49. So if
almost a second off the pace.
Yeah, Ryan Crooks goes out there and runs a 30.5. He's going to open up a second over Nick Gowan right now.
Yeah, and Ryan's the only one to come down pit road at this point of the race, Chad. I'm kind of surprised.
And I just heard Chris Murphy coming down this time as well.
Yeah, I think once Ryan came, I think everybody had to be looking at coming because they know Ryan's going to come out and have that speed. But Shad, I think Ryan might have got hit with a penalty because he is on pit road right now
he's
for
still
over
there.
30 seconds.
Yeah, definitely got hit with that pit road speeding penalty. And I just heard Sean Walton also coming down along with the 21.
That's 23 Jose Ruiz also down pit road. And it looks like Nick Gowan's finally going to come down pit road as well. And Ryan Crooks is still sitting on pit road, Chad. That is going to be a huge
What is going
piece
on
for him. He is down there
He's
for 55
just now
seconds.
moving. Yeah, so he's now a lap down to Chris Murphy. Yeah, he's at least 1 lap down to Chris Murphy, who came out in front of him in the pits. I think Jose Ruiz also, and both those drivers pitted a lap after Ryan Crooks. The good news for Ryan Crooks, though, is there's only 2 cars 1 lap down.
Well, yeah, the 2 cars 1 lap down are Chris Murphy and Jose Ruiz because Wesley Nadet took over the lead, and he is just now coming. So when this cycles out, he probably will be 1 lap down. Talateon also 2 laps down. He may be back to 1 lap down as well. So there's a few guys going a lap down right now, but they're going to come back around and unlap themselves. So it'll probably come out to where there's either Ryan Crooks and maybe 1 or 2 other guys that are a lap down that he'll have to battle. But Ryan is so fast, Chad, you would think by lap 60 when we have the stage break, he should be at least be the lucky dog.
Well, it looks like he's got to get around.
It's Austin Walton right now who's the leader.
Yeah, and once this cycles through, then we'll be able to tell who is the lap down cars, I believe.
I'm looking at this too, and it looks like Tyler Bichad pit 25 laps ago, which must have been one of the caution laps. He only pit for 5.1 seconds, so that was a fuel stop, it looks like. He's out here in second, only a second back from Austin Walton, the leader. So he's got...
Yeah, the problem, Ryan Crooks, though, he is 2 laps down, and Nick Gowan, who should cycle out to be the leader, is in front of him. And they have the same set of tires, so...
I don't think he's going to cycle out to be the leader. I think it's going to be Tyler B. who's going to be the leader.
Well, yeah, but
I don't
Tyler
think he has to pit.
He might not have to.
It's close. I think he might have enough to make it to the end of the stage. We got 22 laps to go in the stage. He pit 27 laps ago. That would be 50.
Yeah, he ain't going to have enough.
He's not going to have enough.
Yeah, 42. Johnny D just announced he's coming down this time by.
Yeah, Jovi Ray pit 26 laps ago. Johnny D pit 26 laps ago. Brandon Watkins, Papa Bear, and Michael Perdusky pit 27 laps ago. So they're all going to have to come down pit road.
Kurt, how many seconds was the 81 on pit road?
The 81 was on pit road for 14.3 seconds.
How did he jump Chris Murphy?
Could have been exit speed or entry.
I
into
think
pit
it was
road.
entry, yeah. So Chris Murphy did get by.
He's trying
he
not
did
to
get
have
by
a pit
the
road
74. He did get by the 74 west of Jeanette, though. So he did move up 1 spot, but then lost the spot to that 81. So, but it looks like he's looking underneath that 81 right now. Chris Murphy trying to go for third if it was to cycle out.
Yeah,
but
if
Nick
a
Gowan
caution comes out though, that's gonna really mess up this field.
Nick Gowan right now though, Kurt, is basically in his own time zone as second, third, and fourth. Once this cycles through, are about probably 5 seconds behind him right now.
I'm looking back from Nick Gowan's car right now, and you can see the 10 way back there of Sean Walton with John Osborne and Chris Murphy all trailing him. So he's got about, I would say, about half a straightaway more than the rest of the guys. So he's going to be close on making it. I don't think, or not making it to the end, but the stage. But I think nobody's going to be able to catch him here at the end.
No, Gowan's got excellent pace right now with Ryan Crooks going 2 laps down and not even going to be in the lucky dog position once this cycles through. This could be huge if this race was to go green. You know, one of the guys that we thought would be a contender for the win, he may not have a chance to get his laps back.
I don't know if I see this thing going green, Chad. So, I mean,
It might.
if it goes green to the end of the stage, I think it's a possibility because Austin Walton still has not pit. He's 43 laps into his run. Tyler B's going to have to pit. Brandon Watkins is going to have to pit. Papa Bear's going to have to pit. Michael Berduski's going to have to pit. Jovi Ray is now pitting right now, so that's going to relinquish 6th spot. I think he'll get back to 1 lap down before we get to the stage break. It's between him and Tyler Taillon, so he's got to get in front of Tyler Taillon. Trying to look to see where those
Tyler
two are on
Taillon. Tyler Taillon's about 1/8 of a track in front of him. Almost a full straightaway.
Yeah. But Tyler Taillon's running a 30.99, and Ryan Crooks just ran a 30.6, so he's running almost 3/10 faster. I don't know if he catches him by lap 60, though. But, I mean, I don't know if we'll see this thing go full green the rest of the stage, or the second half of the stage either, so he may be still sitting in there in the lucky dog. I don't count him out. I think he can still get up here if we get if he gets a lucky break with a caution or something. But Chad, I'm wondering how long Austin Walton can go here. He's 45 laps into his run, and he's still going. And we said 40 to 43 was the max. He did have some caution laps there with the 2 cautions that we had. So I would say he's right on the brink of having to pit right now.
He might be able to go to lap 50, I would think, maybe with the caution laps. But I don't see him being able to make it much farther than that unless he came down during one of those pit stops and topped off. Maybe he could go to 52, 53. Okay, yeah. So I think with the caution laps, maybe lap 50. But right now, Austin Walton's pretty much just hoping for a caution, which would pretty much leave all but 6 cars a lap down.
Yeah, Tyler B's hoping for the same thing. He's hoping that a caution comes out here, traps a lot of the playoff guys a lap down. Because essentially they've been out for about 12 to 15 laps.
And Austin Walton's coming now.
So Tyler B's got about, I don't know, about 11 lap fresher tires and more fuel than Austin Walton did. His is going to be close making it to the end. I don't know how Tyler B is on conserving wise, if he's very good at it.
Clutching.
Okay.
He is clutching.
Well, then he's close. I mean, even if he comes in and gets a top 5 finish for the stage, Chad, that benefits him. So, because you got to look at the rest of the playoffs.
He's clutching quite a bit. I will give him that. So he is on full fuel conserve mode right now. He's almost running that Harvick old Atlanta to where he's shutting the car off so early on the front stretch that it looks like what Harvick did when he was letting off so early at old Atlanta.
Well, it looks like, I mean, he's about, what, a straightaway in front of Nick Gowan and them? 20 seconds. So, yeah, he's almost a full lap. He's 15 seconds from a full lap. So he's about a half a lap.
He's got like 6 seconds, 7 seconds over second place Mike Campbell right now.
Yeah,
but then, 20 seconds. 20 seconds over Nick Gowan, who's the car with the fuel and the newest tires of everyone that pitted so far. So, he's got plenty of time to give up to save fuel. So right now, if I'm Tyler B,
seconds. So I think he's
if I'm Tyler B, and I'm still a lap or 2 short, I'm doing what he's doing right now, and he's clutching it for a lot of this track right now. Probably a good, almost half a track. The car is shut off, so he's doing everything he can right now to try to stretch it to that lap 60. But he's got to get to 61 as well, because he's going to need to make it around at least one more lap. With how far out in front he is, the pace car and everything, he may have to go to lap 61, 62 before you get able to come back down pit road.
Well, same with Papa Bear and Mike Produski. They're both going to have to do it. But Nick Gowan's closing in on third place of Mike Produski right now. He's only 2 seconds back. As we look at Mike Produski in the 36, you can see Nick Gowan coming in the black car right behind him. He's closing in the gap from there. Papa Bear is further out in front of Michael Produski. You see Michael Produski coming out of the corner. It's even further than that. So, yeah, I would say Papa Bear's got about a half a track on Produski.
Yeah, the big thing right now for Cole Martin fans is he needs the 9 of Austin Walton and the 42 of Johnny D to get around that 88 here in the next 7 laps, and that would put Cole Martin in the Alexandria Customs Lucky Dog position.
Yeah, and I don't know if they will.
They're catching them pretty
Austin Walton's
quick.
Closing.
Yeah, they're both on the same straightaway as our leader right now, Tyler B. So they should be able to get around, especially with how much he is clutching it. They should be able to get around. They're both on pretty fresh tires, as they were some of the last ones to come down pit road.
You can hear that car being shut off, and it's so quiet, rolling around the bottom. Austin Walton closing in the gap. So is Johnny D. Yeah, Cole Martin would be the lucky dog. Tyler Tayon is on 1 lap. Ryan Crooks is on 1 lap down. So they're going to need some cautions to get back on here.
Yeah, and Ryan Crooks is still behind Tyler Tayon for the time being of being the next car 1 lap down.
Yeah, Tayon is right in front of Ryan Crooks, though. So I don't know if Ryan stays where he's at here. He's closing the gap on Tyler Tayon right now. He's coming into turn 3 and 4. He's only about 8 cars behind him. But Tayon's stacked behind a couple of lead lap cars that are battling here. So
yeah, I think Crooks will get
he's
by Tyler Tayon. He's got 4+ laps to get by him. And the 9 of Austin Walton is now right behind our leader, Tyler B, to get his lap back. And the 31 has actually caught Johnny D. So maybe 31 unlaps himself and doesn't have to rely on that Lucky Dog award to get back into this race after getting spun by that 1 car of Tyler Tayon.
Yeah, Mike Papa Bear Campbell, Chad, unfortunately, is having to come down pit road. And did he miss pit road? Nope, he hit pit road already. He's coming back out. So he's going to go a lap down. He was on the same pit strategy as Tyler B, but I don't think Papa Bear was clutching as much as...
No. Yeah, Tyler. Yeah, he is a lap down. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know if Papa Bear has the clutch pedal or how much he's actually running, but I do believe the 31 will get by the 88. If not, the 9 has gotten around Tyler B to get his lap back. So the 31 right now sitting in the lucky dog position.
And the 2 got by Tyler Tayon too. So now he just needs Johnny D and Brandon Watkins to get by Tyler B. And here comes the 31. I think he's going to unlap himself, Shad.
Yeah, 31 getting by our leader right now to unlap himself, get back on the lead lap, and get back into the race. Unfortunately, though, for Cole Martin, not going to get any stage points. So he's going to have a smooth second half of this race. No mistakes.
If Johnny D could get by Tyler B, Shad, that puts Ryan Crooks in the lucky dog spot. Johnny D's there. He just can't get to him, and I'm kind of confused on that because Tyler B's off the gas like half of the track here. Oh, Johnny D going to go by. There, he just unlapped himself. That puts Ryan Crooks in the lucky dog. Did he get himself unlapped before the caution came out? Looks like he did. That's going to put Ryan Crooks in the lucky dog, Chad.
It shouldn't. It should be Johnny D.
Yeah, but it's not
because
gonna work
the
that
stage actually ended last time by.
Yeah, but it didn't get called. The delay just a little bit there, Shad, allowed Johnny D to get by Tyler B because he was clutching it so much. Johnny D was able to get by him before the caution actually flew, which unlaps Johnny D, and Ryan Crooks is going to be the lucky dog.
Yeah,
Which,
I
I
have
mean,
to
that's...
see what the admins do here. I mean, technically, it should be the 42. He should have stayed behind the leader there, after he crossed that time. But yeah, we'll have to see what the admins do here.
It's
If
the only
they,
problem with holding it at the end of the lap.
well, Tyler B was so far out, he had to wait for the top 10 to cross the line before throwing the caution.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it should have just been thrown at the end of the 60 and then go back
Yeah, but
on
the
video.
top 10, but you want to let the top 10 cross too.
Yeah.
So I just heard Tyler B say that Johnny D gets his lap back, Ryan Crooks does not.
Oh, wow. All right, well, let's bring up our stage winner. Tyler B, you got a copy of this SWAT and Shadowlack in the booth.
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
All right, bud. So much for taking it smooth and clean and easy tonight. You come out here and get the stage win. That definitely helps you in the points race here. You were the 8th spot, last one into the next round. This 10 points for the stage win is definitely going to help you tonight, and you're going to roll off in the top spot when we restart this thing. How's it going in the car, and where did that strategy come from there?
Well, the strategy just kind of happened about. I got into John Osborne under a caution lap because my dog jumped on my lap. I pushed her off, and she hit my pedal, and I hit him. So I wasn't sure if I had damage. So on that second caution, I pit to check and took fuel. And then when we went green again, I got about 5 or 6 laps in and then looked at the fuel. I'm like, oh, I can stretch this. So I started clutching from that point. I was in 5th, and if you went back and looked, you'd immediately see where I started saving. And I made it all the way to 0.7 laps. I heard you guys saying, listening to the broadcast that I was going to have to pit. I'm like, no, I'm not. This is going to trap a lot of cars. So I'm really happy that worked out. Yeah, that was close, though. It was close. I'm glad it worked out because had it not, that would have been stressful. Being able to get those 10 bonus points will lock me in now. I don't have to worry about Brandon catching me. So you just go on cruise control from here. Let the big dogs go fight it out for the win.
So you think even if he wins, he can't catch you?
I don't think so. I don't believe he got any stage points. So I just gained 10. I was already up 12. That puts me up 22. So I should be good from here on out.
He didn't get any stage points. He's a lap down.
If you finish last, he wins the race. I do believe there's a mathematical possibility.
Well, we'll just make sure we don't finish last.
Well, you might want to tell that 2-car just to park it for a lap and go back down a lap because he should.
Well, we did have a little discrepancy just to let you guys know. The 42 passed me when he wasn't supposed to after I crossed the line. So he got his lap back. The 2 got EOL to prevent the lucky dog. So
he's on the lead lap.
Is he? I don't know. My race control will have to explain it to me if it didn't work. If it didn't work, there's nothing he can do. It's 42's fault. We'll deal with it later.
He could always park for a lap.
Yeah, that's not fair. It's not his fault. 42 didn't listen, so
it's not his fault. You're right.
But I mean, how's the car feel otherwise?
For the little bit that I've actually drove it, it felt really good on the high line. I had moved up to 5th when a caution had come out, and then that was the caution that I drove into Osborne and pitted. So the little bit of driving I done felt pretty good. I don't know what a long run's going to be like. I'm not great at saving tire, so we'll just do our best. Should be able to finish top 8 though.
Well, my advice to you, Tyler, is let off early. Try not to use brake. Get it down to the yellow
I just did
line
that for about 45 laps.
Well, yeah, but you were shutting it off. Get it down to yellow line through 3 and 4. Shift down to 4th gear. That car will rotate later in the run if you need to. 1 and 2, you want to have your left sides just below that new patch of asphalt.
And 4. I appreciate it, man.
Well, good luck on the rest of the race, and we'll see how this thing ends up. You got the fast number 3 to the outside, so good luck.
All right, guys.
All right, Chad, we're going to come back into the restart zone here as the 88's coming in with the 3 to the restart zone. Pace cars down pit road. We're going to restart up the last half of this race here, Chad. I don't know if my predictions changed. I think Nick Gowan's still the car to beat here. Oh, and he gets a jump in the restart zone. I don't know. Was Tyler B the leader there, or was Nick?
I think Tyler B was.
That's what I kind of thought too, but either he messed up or Nick jumped
Well,
out.
I do believe that 88 messed up on the start, but the 3 did not, which allowed the 3 to go ahead. Not sure what the rule is there on iRacing. I think it's only the initial start you have to worry about not beating the leader back to the line. Just as long as you don't you hit the gas before he goes in that restart box. But I think it was clean. I think the 88 just messed up when he took off and didn't get going.
Well, that 3 is out front again. Wesley Jeanette, though, Shad, on the back bumper, sitting second. Tyler Beast back here in third. A little loose there with the 81 of John Osborne underneath him. The 7 of Chris Murphy tucked in right on the back bumper of the 88, trying to get past the 81 as well. Going to be dragged along past the 81, and now going to be side by side with him as he go through the corner again. The rest of the top 10, Shad, Sean Walton sitting in 6th, Nate Mon 7th, Cole Martin 8th, Jovi Ray 9th, and Jose Ruiz 10th.
Yeah, Sean Walton now trying to get by that 81 for 5th, or for 6th place, actually. Or 5th. Never mind. So, yeah, move Sean Walton back up into the top 5. A strong run so far by that 10 car, Sean Walton. We've seen glimpses, Kurt, throughout the season of the speed between the Waltons. They just have not had the luck on their side or the strategy, and haven't came away with the finishes that I think they probably should have gotten in a few of these races. But right now, Sean Walton ran top 5 most of the first stage, and has battled his way back up so far after the restart to get himself back up into the top 5, and looks very strong right now, hanging on to that lead train of the front 5.
And I'm looking at the top 10 too, Shad. It's kind of riddled here with different manufacturers. We've got 3 Chevys, 4 Toyotas, and 3 Fords in the top 10 here. Kind of funny that the different manufacturers don't really make a difference here, but you got your certain ones that you like. Tyler B, I was going to reference to him. He needs to change his profile picture in SDK because he's still got Kyle Busch driving the 18. The M&M's paint scheme, so he needs to change that. But right now, Shad, it's all Nick Gowan. He's back out front, leading laps again. He's got the most laps led so far. The 74 sitting here on his back, with Tyler B closing in on the back bumper as well. 2 Fords lined up. Toyota of Chris Murphy looking low on Tyler B, but not going to be able to get to the side of him, as the 10 now is going to get to the outside of the 7, Shad. That 10 is moving.
Yeah. Yeah, it almost looks like that second groove through